Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for stopping by to see another journaling project tutorial. So today I am going to show you guys how to make this project that was actually inspired by another YouTuber, a couple other YouTubers actually, that have made this type of project over the last couple of years. You know, each one has made their own, version of this project with different designs, different ways of doing things, different textures, things like that. So today we're going to make one of these. And if you have not seen how to make one of these, stick around so that you can follow along with me and make one, or just make one later. Totally up to you. But again, I fell in love with this when I seen this being made by a couple other crafters / YouTubers, and I thought I need to make one of those in my own way, or my version. So I already made one, as you guys can see, and of course, since Valentine's Day is coming up, I made a Valentine's Day theme one, and I don't even know, I'm trying to think of what to call this. It's like a trifold ephemera holder / tag. I really don't know what you would call this, a folio. I'm not sure, but this is something that can either be put into your junk journal or your scrapbook, or it can be used loosely, or you can just give it away as a gift, like a Valentine's Day gift, because it can be used for so many different things. So I'm going to show you what this looks like and what this entails before we make one of our own. And today we're going to make a different theme. I did make this Valentine's Day theme, to celebrate Valentine's Day, and this specific one is actually for sale right now in my Etsy store. I just uploaded it, or listed it rather, to Etsy. So if you're interested in purchasing this exact one, head on over to my Etsy store and see if it's still available. If it's still available. I'm not sure if it's going to be, but you never know. So go and check it out. There is only one of these, obviously. So this is, I just think this is adorable, and I'm very satisfied with the way this turned out. So let's start with the front here. We have a little pocket right here, and I just put this ephemera card in here. I backed it onto card, and then I put some tea stain paper over that to give it, a nice back texture. You can journal on the back of that. And once this card is out, because this card put in here holds this flap shut, but once you take this card out, this flap does open. And I put some more tea stained paper in here, which is my own tea stained paper. You can download the digital version of my handmade tea stained paper, which is also for sale in my Etsy store. I will put the link to my Etsy store in the description below if you don't want to take the time to make your own tea stained paper. It is available. I believe it's only like $1.19 or something like that for 4 textures. So anyways, guys, this flap opens up, and I added a few pieces of the tea stained paper so that you can journal on here. How adorable is that? And I did some stenciling over here. And again, when you put this card in here, that does hold this flap shut. Now I did hold this together with a Velcro dot enclosure here. And there's a pocket right here. I just added a white texture card, and I put some stickers on there. I thought it looked really cute. And I put another ephemera card in there, which I thought was adorable. This ephemera, unfortunately, I can't tell you exactly where it came from, because I cut a lot of this ephemera, even this, out of a book that I purchased from a Goodwill, which was filled with all kinds of Valentine's Day ephemera that you have to actually cut out. So let me show you guys that. It's the Old Time Romantic Valentines in full color. It's actually just an ephemera book. And like I said, I purchased this from a Goodwill. I think it was like $1. I couldn't go wrong. And it's just filled with different Valentine's Day ephemera that you can cut out. So what I did basically is I just cut out the ones that sparked my interest, and I backed them onto cardstock to make them sturdier, to make them, you know, sturdy, excuse me, ephemera pieces. So right here, guys, is another pocket where I did the same thing, and I backed that onto card and tea stained paper to give it some texture. And I decorated it with some die cuts and some fussy cuts. Over here, when you flip this open, it looks like this. And right here is another pocket with another ephemera card. And right here in the middle, guys, is a tag. I left the back of this blank because you can journal on that if you want. That's actually a really good option. But I made this tag to go in the center, and there are some die cuts here, and I put a little heart gem up here. This paper I actually got, I believe, also from a Goodwill. It came in like a kit, you know, a 12 by 12 book kit. So I'm not really sure the brand of that because I used the last of this. So I can't really help you out with that. But again, if you go on Etsy and, you know, Amazon, there's tons of different paper kits or journal kits that are Valentine's Day themed that are just as cute. So that just lays here right in the center. So when I take this out, I actually put this here, which came from the book that I just showed you. I just fussy cutted it out and stuck it down there on some tea stained paper for the background. And so, and I also put a seam binding ribbon. I tied that to the top here, which I thought was really adorable. So when you turn it around on the back, I just stenciled it here, and then there's another pocket right here, and I put this piece of ephemera in it, which is a dozen roses in a box, which is so super adorable. So again, guys, we're gonna make one of these today, and I do not claim any rights to this specific design. I did not make this up in my own head. This is, again, inspired by a few other YouTubers or crafters that have made this over the past couple of years, actually, and they're still making this design, and it just inspired me to make one of my own and share that with you guys. So let's get started. Let me set this aside. All right, guys, so for today's project that we're making of that, we're not going to do the Valentine theme. Like I said, we are going to do a different theme today, which is so super adorable. Our base is going to be on a piece of tea stained paper, again, that I did myself, and this is actually my digital, and I printed it on both sides. If your printer does not print double side, you know, just print one side, flip your page over in the printer, and then print the other side. Easy peasy. So the kit that we're going to be using today is, let me grab this. I downloaded and printed the majority of this kit, and it is called Tea Time. I believe that's the name of it, Tea Time. And this kit was created and is available for sale on Etsy by the Gingerbread Prince. She makes beautiful, beautiful journal kits and ephemera. She has her own tutorial videos also on YouTube. She is on Facebook. She is on Instagram. She has a Patreon. And if you become a member of her Patreon, every month you do get a beautiful kit from her for free, guys, for free. How adorable is this kit? So cute. It's actually, there's so many more pieces that go to this kit, but like I said, I did not print them all. And I have the ephemera over here. I already have it cut out and ready to go, which is right here. Again, it's not all of the ephemera that she has, but I did decide to just cut out the ones that I liked the best so that I can kind of pick and choose which pieces I want to use in this project. And of course, we're not going to use all of this, but I wanted options. You know, I wanted to have some options. Oh God, I love this with the two little, they remind me of the Precious Moments. Kids, do you guys remember the Precious Moments? Oh my God, so adorable. And then there's some pockets here. I really don't think we're going to use these pockets because we're going to create our own pockets, and I'll show you why in a minute. But yeah, guys, like I said, I have most of the ephemera here already cut out, ready to go. So we're going to get to that when it's time to get to that. All right, so what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to start with, again, a piece of tea stained paper. This is printed on cardstock, so it's nice and thick. so it's not, you know, flimsy. It's got some, you know, heft to it. So first what we need to do, guys, is we need to cut this down because this needs to be 27 centimeters long. And I believe this is 29 or 30. Let me see. So this is, okay, this is 28 centimeters long, and we need it to be 27 because we need it to be 9, 18, 27. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mark out, because that's where we're gonna end up scoring, by the way. We're gonna score every 9 centimeters. So there's 9, 18, and 27, which leaves us with a little bit over here that we are going to cut off because we don't need that. So got so many things going on over here. So let's cut that off. And if you don't have one of these cutters, I guess, I don't know if that's what you would call it, but if you don't have one, you can always just use your scissors, but it might be easier for you to trace a straight line all the way down so that you can follow that line when you cut, so that you ensure that it is straight. Okay, so we're going to take this, discard that. And then also what we're going to do is we are going to go 5 centimeters up from here because we want to score across this way as well. So let's bring this over. We're going to go 5 centimeters right here, make a line. There we go. So now it's time to score. So we're going to grab our scoring tool. If you do not have, you know, one of these or a scoreboard, you can always just take your bone folder or the end of a mechanical pencil with the lead in and, you know, put it down on your board here like this. Grab your ruler and then just score like this. Okay, that should be effective enough if you press hard enough, but don't press too hard because you don't want to tear your paper. But again, if you have a scoreboard, then that's great too, because that's helpful and that's what I prefer to use. So first we're going to score along these 2 lines here, all the way down. Then we're going to flip our paper and score here where we made our other line. Okay, so now we have these 2 lines and then the line all the way across the bottom. Go ahead and erase your pencil marks because you don't want those visible. All right, now guys, what we're gonna do is we're going to fold along those score lines. So first we're gonna fold along these lines. So we're gonna go this way very carefully. Grab your bone folder, smooth it out. And then we're going to fold the other way. Just like that. So now you have your trifold here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to flip our page over and we're going to fold along the score line that we made down here, but we're going to go up. Okay, so don't forget to turn your page over when you do it. Just fold along there, smooth it out, make sure everything is even, make sure everything matches up, which yes it does, so that's great. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to fold. This is cardstock, so, you know, down here, since it's got double folds down here, it's going to be a little thick and it's going to take a little bit of manipulation to get that folded. So use your bone folder or whatever you have that you use to burnish. All right, there we go, guys. So we have our back pocket here. Should actually be this way because that's how it's going to end up opening, we have our front pocket here, and when we open it up, we have our inside pocket, and then of course our trifold here. Okay, so now the next step that we're going to do is we're going to want to fold this corner down here. So how we're going to do that is very, very carefully, we're going to take this, let me turn it so you guys can see it, and we're going to fold it over here like this, but don't go all the way to the edge. Okay, leave a little bit of space, like, I don't know, like a millimeter, I think they said. When I seen somebody else make it, they said to leave about a millimeter. You don't want to go all the way to the edge. Okay, so there's our flap. We're going to open it up. And we're going to do the same thing over here, but we're going to go this way with it. Instead of going this way, we're going to go this way. So make sure that it's all the way opened up, and take this far flap over here and bring it in this way. And then the same goes, make sure that you don't bring it all the way to the fold line, because if you do, whenever you go to close it, it's going to be in the way and it's going to bend your paper and it's gonna close all wonky like, and you don't want that. So you want it to be nice and flat and cooperative. Okay, so there we go. There's that, and there it is. So now what we're going to do, guys, is we are going to glue a few of our pockets closed on the end so that it's just a pocket like this. But first what I want to do is I want to add some writing paper to this flap. I want to get that done first. So I have over here, I already have it pre-cut, another piece of tea-stained paper. And what I did was I cut it this way. I cut it out to basically be the same size as this, but obviously a square, because you're going to want to fold that over. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this down. Make sure that, well, actually, let me go up this way so I can see what I'm doing here. There we go. Make sure you press that down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glue this. We're going to glue this top flap here to this part here, so that when this opens, you have this flap. So you'll be able to journal here, 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 and here. Okay, so that's 4 spots that you'll be able to journal. We might have to cut this down a little bit, but let me glue this in place first and then see if we need to cut this down. I'm going to use my art glitter glue. And here in Florida, guys, I live in Southwest Florida. For those of you who don't know, it's actually chilly today. Like, it's in the 50s, and I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I am not complaining at all. I know a lot of you are like, oh, please, you know, come up here up north where it's freezing. I was actually born and raised in upstate New York, all the way up towards the top where it was very freezing. So I know how that is, guys. I definitely know. All right, so I'm going to glue this in place right on the fold line. We just did the one side. Okay, right there. All right, so there's our flap for journaling. Now I might have to, yeah, see there's a little bit of reserve at the top, so let's cut that off. All right, perfect. And then that flap goes down like this. So yeah, like I said, you can't even see it as long as it's, you know, the right size. All right. All right, guys, so the next thing I want to do is glue. Let me turn this around so you can see. I want to glue our pockets down. Here, just put a thin bead of glue did seep through a little bit, but that's okay. The great thing that I love about art glitter glue is that it dries clear. So if you do seep out a little bit, it's okay. Nobody's gonna see it once it dries. All right, let's do that on this side now. But yeah, guys, as far as this chilly weather here in Southwest Florida, I am not complaining at all. I am actually loving it. It's the perfect weather to do things outdoors. And my husband and I are actually paranormal investigators, and we like to visit cemeteries and, you know, things like that, pay our respects and see if, you know, any spirits want to communicate and stuff like that. I actually have a channel on YouTube. It's Jenny Love Paranormal TV. You can check that out if that's something that you are into or interested in watching. We do cemeteries, we do haunted buildings, all kinds of stuff. We've done haunted mansions, haunted antique stores, haunted lighthouses. Like I said, we do cemeteries, all kinds of places, guys. It's another one of my hobbies. We love to do that. I will put the link to that channel down in the description if that's something that you are into and you want to check out. But this weather makes it so that we want to go out and do some investigating and not sweat our butts off or get eaten alive by mosquitoes. So that's what I really like about this type of weather as well. Okay, so we have those pockets closed up. So what we want to do is we want to cover these pockets and these flaps. So I already have some pre-cut, I pre-cut some of the pieces out of the kit, of the tea time kit that I just showed you. So we're going to get some of those stuck down. I have this one here, it's so pretty with the music notes and the daisies. Glue all sides of this because this isn't a pocket, so these are literally just to cover our pockets and our flaps. So you don't have to worry about, oh crap, I just glued the wrong side. Nope, we're gonna glue the whole thing down. Let me turn it so I can see what I'm doing. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to lean forward and get my big head in the way, and then you guys won't be able to see what I'm doing. With the art glitter glue, it is not very forgiving and it dries very fast, so you have to be fast if that's what you're using. You can use tacky glue, you can use glue stick, whatever your preference, but just make sure that it is a good, strong glue. Okay. All right, so that's down. That's pretty. And now for this flap, let's see. Actually, first, guys, I'm actually getting ahead of myself here. I wanted to do some stenciling on this first because, yes, I love the tea stain paper as it is plain, but there's going to be some like right here, you know, here, and like here, here, you know, those are going to be, we're not going to cover those areas. So to just deco them up a little bit more, I want to stencil that. So let's get that done before we put down any more covering. So I have this stencil here, and I got this on Amazon. This is from DIY Decorative Flower Furniture Crafts. All right, so I'm going to get my Distress Oxide and my brush here, this type of brush. I don't even know what this is called. I know that there are makeup brushes like this, but this is actually a craft brush. I purchased this at an actual craft store. So first, let's do this flap like we talked about first. Put this down here, and then we'll just go around in circles. Try to get just the top flap, not here, because, you know, the bottom flap you're going to want to use for journaling. So we're just gonna concentrate on the top flap. There we go. We got a little bit on the bottom, but it's okay. No biggie. We're gonna leave this blank for journaling as well. So we're gonna get this, let me get in frame here. We're gonna get this here. Okay, there we go, that's done. So let's open it up. And we're gonna get this whole side here. There we go. Beautiful. All right, now we're going to do this. If you go over your pocket a little bit, like I just did a tiny bit at the top, it's fine because you're going to be covering that anyways. Okay, so we're going to cover this pocket. So let's stencil here. Actually, we can open this up and stencil all of this because we're going to leave this flap as it is. Of course, we're going to cover it, but we're going to be able to open it so that we can use it as a tuck spot. So let's just open this whole thing. We want to make sure that all of it looks really nice. And this this Distress Oxide that I'm using is the Vintage Photo, by the way, just in case you're wondering. But I know the majority of you that use the Distress Oxide on a regular basis can pretty much already tell what I'm using just by looking at it. Oh, that is gorgeous. And then flipping it over to the back, we're going to do this right here, and then that'll be it. And you can use, of course, any paper that you'd like, any kit that you'd like. You don't have to use what I'm using, but if you prefer to follow along exactly and use what I'm using, again, that is the Tea Time kit. All right, guys, that is all done. So let's get our pockets covered. All right, so I have some papers already pre-cut here. I do have this one, but it is a little bit small. It's a little short, even though I really like that. So I might find a place to put that after, but I do have these three that fit perfect. So let me look and see what looks best with this. Maybe that one. And these, again, were cut from the Tea Time kit. Let me show you. I cut it from this page here, and I just cut from the sections that I thought would look nice for the pockets. And don't worry, I will use the remainder of this page. I don't let anything go to waste, guys. Everything gets used. I use my scraps quite a bit. So yeah, let's get this stuck down onto there. We're gonna glue the whole pocket down because we already have our pocket in place. We just need to cover it. So we don't need to worry about just gluing certain parts of this. We need to glue the whole thing down. My glue is being stubborn right now. All right, let's stick this down. Make sure that it's even. We also want to make sure that we're careful that we don't stick our pocket together. There we go. That is beautiful. So let's flip this open, and we're going to cover this pocket here. I'm going to use that one or that one. I think we're going to go with this one here. All right, guys, I had to actually literally step away and take this apart and clean it because it was really clogged, but I think we're good now because quite a bit is coming out. So all right, let's get this stuck down here. Beautiful. Let's make sure we didn't glue our pocket closed. There we go. Okay, and then the last pocket cover will be on the back. So let's get that down. Oh yeah, this is working beautifully now. Maybe a little too beautifully. I mean, it is coming out. But hey, that's okay. There we go. Very nice. Make sure our pocket's still there. There we go. All right, so now that we have our pockets covered, the next thing we do, we already did this flap, so we're going to cover this flap now. So I have this one here that will go there. Super pretty. All right, and this, again, we're gonna leave this flap the way it is so that we can use this as a tuck. We're gonna tuck things up inside of here like this. So all of that is done. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to make our little side pockets, one right here and one right here. And I have these already cut out. This is from the Tea Time kit as well. I thought these were adorable. So let me show you where I cut these out. I actually cut those out on this page here. This is, I believe, a background sheet that comes with the kit. I also want to ink around the edges of these because the ends of these are a little white, but first I want to cut pull notches into these. These might be a little too long. I might have to, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut these down a little more because see how it breaches up here. I don't know why I did that. Must not have measured it correctly. Right, they should fit now. I cut her head off, but kind of had no choice in the matter on that one. So I'm sorry, lady who is enjoying your tea. It's not like you can enjoy your tea that much longer because you don't have a head, but it's okay. So oh dear God. Okay, let's cut our little notches here with our circle punch. And as I always say, if you don't have a circle punch, guys, you can always just put, you know, your glue or whatever you have that's round and trace around it and cut it with your scissors. All right, so let's ink. I can pick it up. There we go. Let's get the edges inked on these so that they'll have some dimension sitting in the sides here so that you can really tell that they're pockets. I love this type of project because, again, it can be put glued down or just set into your junk journal, your scrapbook, or it can be given away as a gift because there are so many uses for these types of things. Okay, so we're going to glue these down, but we're going to glue this side, and this side because this is an actual pocket. So we don't want to glue the whole thing down. This is not a cover, this is a pocket. So we're just going to glue these three sides. Also, guys, as always, and as I remind you when we are making projects, when this is finished, this will also go up for sale in my Etsy store. The majority of the projects that I make, I don't keep them because, I mean, you can just have so many, you know, uses. I mean, I do use things like this, but I don't need a ton of them. So I don't keep the majority of the projects I make, just some things. And so whenever I make anything, pretty much anything, I put it up for sale in my Etsy store so that somebody else can enjoy it and use it. So let's get this down. There we go. There's our little pockets, our little side pockets. Oops. Get that, make sure that sticks right here. And we're gonna put some like little tags in here, which I do have some of the tags from the kit that I'm going to be using to put in there, which we will do when we're finished. We'll put all the, we'll stuff all the pockets and flaps and everything once we're completely finished with this project. All right, guys, so the next thing I want to do is I want to put some lace. So I want to put some across the top of this pocket, along the corner of this flap, and along the top of this pocket. So I do have some lace here from Plum Boutique. This is one of her sample ones. I want to use this up before I get into the bundles here. So I'm not trying to think of what color, maybe the white or the cream. You know what? I'm thinking the cream because it does match the tea stain paper a little bit. Let's go with the cream color here. And what we're going to do is we're going to, here, let me clip or trim the end of that because that's a little frayed. Again, I got this through Plum Boutique, and I purchased this sample kit first before I purchased the full bundles to make sure that I like them. I'm always a demo trier. I always like to try things out before I really use them. So I want to get this used up because it's been sitting in my lace drawer for quite a while. See, that's pretty. That's really pretty. Okay, so let me make sure that's all the way to the end. We're going to cut this off right there. So that's for that. Let's measure this here. Don't worry, we'll cut that at an angle to make sure that it sits nicely. I'm going to cut this here. And then for the inside, I'm going to straighten this because I just cut that at an angle so that it fits. I'm going to cut this here. All right, guys. So let's get these glued into place. And I'm not going to use my art glitter glue for this. I'm actually going to use my Fabri-Tac. So let's get this one glued down first. The only thing that I don't really like about the Fabri-Tac is the smell of it. Oh my Lord, it is such a strong smell. And if you are using a lot of it and, you're smelling it for, a period of time, it will give you a headache. And also, warning, ladies, it does take off your nail polish. So I am always very, very careful when using this because, of course, I'm always wearing nail polish. And I noticed the very first time I used the Fabri-Tac, I got it was like stuck on my nail and I went to wipe it off and it wiped off like my whole nail, like all the nail polish on my nail. And I was like, what? That is some potent stuff. Oh my goodness. So just be careful of that. Let me trim that. There we go. And yes, it is very true, ladies. It really is. I've never really heard any other crafters that use the Fabri-Tac mention that it takes off your nail polish, but it does, guys. It does. So I want to cut this here at an angle. There we go. All right. So let's risk this nail polish removal again right here, guys. Just be careful. Don't squeeze too hard when squeezing out the glue. You just want a little bit. Don't need a lot of this. And like I said, do not get it on your fingernail like I literally just did. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, okay. We're gonna trim that. There we go, that is so pretty. And then we need to do the inside pocket here. Right there. Okay, let's glue that down. But yeah, like I was saying earlier about the weather here in Southwest Florida, this winter has brought in some record cold temperatures in just Florida itself, not just Southwest Florida, but all of Florida. And I live right on the Gulf. just north of Fort Myers. Like, I am literally like 15 minutes from North Fort Myers, so I'm not that far at all. But when Hurricane Ian came through, let me tell you what, we got hit bad. Fortunately, and thank the good Lord above, you know, we were safe. Our home wasn't damaged. We did have to replace our roof because we did lose some roof tiles, and we didn't want to have, you know, some further damage down the road from that. So we just said, let's just, you know, get it done and over with so we don't have to deal with that later. But we were safe. Our animals were safe. We did have to go without electricity for over a week. We went without internet for almost like 3 weeks. But that is nothing compared to, you know, some of the things that a lot of others had to go through during that hurricane. And it was very, very sad. So we were very fortunate to make it out of that, even though we got slammed harder than almost anywhere in Florida. It was scary. It was very scary. I actually have a video of that hurricane on my Jenny Love Paranormal TV YouTube channel, if you want to check out our experience with that. You guys can see here what I mean about how it takes off your nail polish. I did get a little drip of glue right there on my nail, and it immediately took off the nail polish. So just be very careful, ladies, with the Fabri-Tac. Okay, so now that we have that part done, it is looking absolutely gorgeous. So now what I want to do is I want to make the tag that is going to go in the center here. So I have yet to make that. I did not make that yet. I was going to wait to do that with you guys, and I want to grab some papers from the kit that I'm actually wondering if we can use these teacups. How adorable would that be? We can use the teacups here, and maybe we can get that saying in there. I'm not sure, but let me cut this down so that we can get a better idea of which part we'll be able to use. All right, so we have this here. So I'm not sure, and it does not look like we're going to be able to get all of the saying in there, but we can get the teacups in there. We can definitely get the teacups in there. So let's measure out, oh, get my head in the way, where we're going to need to cut. All right, so we're going to need to cut here. And about here. So let's get that cut all the way down. And again, whatever parts we don't use, trust me, they will get used. Absolutely. That is Max. Max in the background. He just woke up, so he's making all kinds of noise. Oh, this is going to be adorable. All right. So, I don't know how much of the length we need. So we have the width. So the length, we can actually make this tag a little bit longer than this. He's shaking around over there. We can make this a little bit longer, but half of that saying is cut off. So we can cover that up with something. So let's cut right here where that the top of that saying, or saying, quote is. All right, and I have this piece. It's just a little piece of cardstock that I cut an angle in so that I can put this against here to cut the angle on both sides for the tag so that I know that they're both even. So let's do that. This side, flip it over, do the same on this side. So we ended up cutting off some of that quote anyways. So it's okay. It still looks beautiful, right? All right, so here is our tag. And I'm gonna actually back this because this is cardstock. So I'm gonna back this on some tea stained paper. It's gonna make it just a little bit thicker. And also it's gonna make it so that the back of this matches what we got going on here. And this is what I used to cut off the piece for our flap here. So we're just gonna utilize the rest of this to put on the back here. So we're going to glue this down. So we're going to glue that down on the tea stain paper like that. And then we're going to, if I can find my scissors, here they are. We're going to cut this out. This is double-sided, by the way. So don't be like, no, you're doing it on the wrong side, which I have done before. Where I glued something like this down onto paper that I was backing, but I had the texture side up so that the back of it ended up being white anyway, white or plain, and I was like, what am I doing? I am literally one of those people where I often make mistakes when I'm crafting, but I do learn from them, of course, as we all do. But I am literally that clumsy crafter that I'm just like, oh my God, why did I just do that? Like, what was I thinking? So I'm sure that some of you can relate. But again, how are we supposed to learn, right? If we don't make mistakes. So here we go, guys. We got a nice finished tea stained backing on our tag here. So that is going to go nicely right here in the center. So being as how there is quite a bit going on this tag, I don't want to embellish it too much, just a little bit. So I want to put some die cuts like over onto the side here or something. So I have a bunch of die cuts in here actually, and some fussy cuts. So there's a lot of colors going on here, so it doesn't really matter what color we choose. I need to go through these and organize because they are tangled, but I want to do a butterfly there, and maybe this rose. That would be pretty. I also want to take out a few of these fussy cut butterflies. These came from the Angela Kerr fussy cut butterfly kits. So I want to set a few of those aside. And then these on the bottom are my snowflakes and my winter fussy cuts for the winter journal that I'm making, which is part of my kit that I created. It's a not Christmas, but winter journal kit, and it is a whole kit with papers and ephemera and background sheets and things like that. So if you're interested in checking that out, that is also for sale in my Etsy store. So let's set these aside, and I want to put these here, maybe this down here, or maybe up here. Oh, that looks pretty up there. We should do that. So let's glue this down. Oh, pretty. Okay, and then the butterfly. All right, so let's stick the butterfly right up here. We don't want to put him up too high because then his wings will hang off, and then we won't have a spot to cut for our eyelet so that we can put our seam binding in there, which we will do. That is pretty. Now, I'm not sure if I want to put another butterfly, like maybe right here. Oh, yes, we should. We should put that right there. That's pretty. Can never have too many butterflies, guys. Butterflies are so pretty. And it's funny because I am part of several groups, like junk journaling groups on Facebook. And I seen a post somebody made like a few months back. And they were like, why does everybody feel the need to put butterflies on everything? Like, what is it with butterflies? So, of course, a lot of people were a little upset that they were complaining about that because, you know, I mean, butterflies, hello. So a lot of people had to explain why they, you know, use a large amount of butterflies in their projects because they really, you know, complete the project, obviously, right? So here, the yellow butterfly, I might, I don't know if I want to use this, the yellow. Let me see. Oh, that, you know what? That might look nice right there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put that there. Because that, you know, the yellow and the daisies, it matches well. So, you know, everybody has their preference, but, ooh, almost dropped it. But I personally really like butterflies, and I love to use butterflies in my projects because it really brightens them up, makes them happy, makes them beautiful. Obviously, as you can see, I'm not sure if I want to put something here because I don't think I want to cover the stamp. Maybe over here on the side. Let's see, what do I have? Do I have something that I can maybe fussy cut? You know what? I did cut this out to put here, but I decided against it. I really did. I decided against it because I thought, you know, it just looks nice like this. Or maybe, should we? What do you guys think? You know what? I'm going to go for it. It is a little big, so let me measure it out here. But I really like this. So I think, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and cover that up, make it look prettier. Why not? So you guys can choose to stencil that, or you can cut out a flap, or not a flap, but a cover to cover that. There we go. There, that looks nice. I don't know why I didn't do that before. That looks nice, right? I like that. Oh yes, especially when you close it, you can see it. Yeah, that is nice. That definitely adds a little something, something. So I don't want to cover these because these already have the little decorations on them. That looks fine. Okay, so I have some fussy cut flowers in here. I'm wondering if something, let me see, do I have anything small enough? I don't know if I have, oh, wait. Oh, that's pretty. Maybe we can use that. Some of these are just not small enough. Oh, what about this? That's pretty too, but it's not really matching the front of that. I literally just cut these out not too long ago, and I haven't really used any of them yet. So I figure, okay, I'm thinking I want to go with this one. That one's pretty. Let's go with that. Of course, you want it very nicely embellished, but you don't want to make it too busy. I mean, obviously, if you like it to look busy, that is your decision, your preference. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that because, again, as I always say, it is your project, so it's up to you how you want it to look. Okay, that doesn't look bad. That looks really pretty. Okay, so we got that done. We got that done. Let's finish our tag. We have some things glued down. We have the tag decorated. We have it backed. let's go ahead and ink the edges of the tag, and then we'll punch a hole here to add our seam binding so that we can tie a nice little ribbon. All right, so we have our little hole punch. So let me measure out the center here. I like to use my board and put this right here in the center. So these two corners, I'll line up with these two dots right here so that we know that this line indicates that that is in the center. That's how I do it, you know. I always take the easy way out. I'll turn this around. But you can just measure it with your ruler and do it however you do it, guys. Again, your project. So we're going to put that right about there, right? And I want to make sure that we're not going to cut into our butterflies, so there we go. All right, so let's grab some of our seam binding here. I have a whole bag of this. I actually get my seam binding from my scrap cabin, which is on Etsy. She has the most beautiful high quality seam binding that I have ever used anyway. And I literally just ordered this a few weeks ago and I'm hooked. Like, I'm absolutely hooked. So I'll put the link to her Etsy store in the description as well, if you want to give her a try. We want to go with, do we want to try yellow? No, I don't know if we want to do the bright pink or the light pink. They both look really nice, right? I'm guessing we're going to probably use the light pink, which is what I used in the last one that I made, because it really matched the Valentine theme that I had. Oh, actually, no, I did. I used the bright pink. Okay, so we're going to go with this one. And I want to put a reinforcement tab on here just to make sure that we have some strength. So when we're putting, you know, untying this and tying it, not that you really would too often, but I want to make sure that we strengthen that. And for this, I think we're going to go with the silver. So we're going to put one on both sides. All right, let's get this tied back up. Oh, it's so pretty. So, so pretty. All right, so there, sorry about that, guys. The dog is just so active right now. There's that. And there is our tag. And we're not going to glue this down or anything. We're literally just going to set that there and just leave it there like that. So when we close it up, like, how adorable is that? I also want to put a Velcro dot here so that when we close this, it stays closed. But before we do that, let's go ahead and stuff these pockets, shall we? We can leave this right here. So I have some of the ephemera here from the Tea Time kit. We don't really need those, and I don't need those. I just want to utilize these tags. So we have several of these tags, and they're all so pretty. So I'm thinking we're going to use all of them, maybe just double stuff these pockets. And let's ink these up really quick. All right, guys, let's stuff these pockets. So we have, these actually are gonna be too long, so we're gonna have to figure that out. So let's get this front pocket done. And let's see, which ones do we wanna use for the front? I really like these. I'm thinking this along with this. Those look nice. So let's put these down in there like that. And with these in here, that does hold this flap closed. So in this pocket, I like these two. Let's do these two in this pocket here. All right. And let's see, we have the pocket in the back. This one right here. So, oh, these two are perfect for this pocket because look at the colors. So we'll go with these. All right, so we have these side pockets here. Actually, you know what? I have these. I do have these. Okay, so let's ink these up. So let's put these down. Oh, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Down into here. Adorable. Okay, so there's only two things left to do, guys, and that is to ink around the whole thing and then put a Velcro dot in there to hold it closed. So we're going to do that. Okay, there we go. Let's put these back in here. Like so. And I have these little tiny Velcro tabs here. Let's get our tag in place. And I got these Velcro tabs right on Amazon. They're little, they're tiny, they're kind of transparent, so you can't really, you know, they don't really stick out too much, which is good. So we're just gonna take one of the rough one, the rough edges, put it right here in the corner. And then we're gonna take a fuzzy one. I'm missing one. Oh, that is so weird. Because I have not used any of these yet. Oh, that's so weird. Okay, well, they gypped me on one. So we're gonna use a fuzzy one. And we're going to put the fuzzy side down right onto the rough. I call it the rough one, I don't know. So that the sticky side is up, because when you go to close it, it'll automatically put itself into place where it needs to be. So you have this one over here and this one over here. So now when you close it, they will always meet up with each other. Very easy. And there we have it, guys. Again, I don't know what I would call this. It's, you know, a tri-fold pocket tag folio journal insert thing. I really don't know what I would call this, but either way, it is absolutely adorable. They're fun to make. They are great to use. You can even, you know, give them away as gifts. So again, we have this pocket here with the two tags, and then this flap up here holds a few of the tea stained pages so that you can journal here, you can journal here, you can journal here, which is very adorable. You can journal on the back of the tags. Lots of journaling space. You know, here is, oops, another pocket here where you pull this out. You can journal on the back of this. And the same thing over here. Another journaling spot on the back of that. And then with this flap, you can tuck something up in here, or you can even journal on it. And then of course our tag that we backed onto tea stained paper that you can journal on. And then, oh, let's not forget, oh, and then here too, we didn't put anything here, but I just think it looks nice the way it is since we stenciled that. So we're just gonna leave that just like that. And of course here, this pocket, we have two more tags. You can journal on the back of those. And then when we flip this over, we have this pocket with these two tags, and you can journal on those as well. And what a beautiful kit to utilize for this type of thing as well. So again, all of the links will be in the description below for this kit, for the seam binding, for my kits, my tea stained paper, and even my other channels on YouTube. So you have plenty of opportunities to explore down in the description. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I hope that you are inspired as well to make one of these. If you do, as I always say, my email address is in my About section here on my YouTube channel. Go ahead and send me some photos of your version of this project. I would absolutely love to see what yours looks like. I always love to see what everybody's projects, how they come out, because everybody is unique and creative in their own way. So again, if you do decide to make this, please send me some photos. I would really love to see it. And again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day and a fun and safe weekend. See you next time, guys.